Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly for pricing, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing the Great Green Bremont ALT1-C Classic Green, a watch that lives up to its name, an aviation-themed chronometer chronograph. It is 43 millimeters in face-hardened stainless steel, and it measures 16.1 millimeters thick. It is 49.6 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it's large. I actually would not recommend this watch for a wrist smaller than 15 centimeters circumference. You can see it's largely filling out my wrist, and my wrist is even a little bit bigger than that. So this is a sizable timepiece. It's not going to fit underneath a dress cuff, and you can see how sheer and tall the case is, though you should probably be okay with a jacket cuff, especially the size of a jacket that would fit a wrist accustomed to a watch of this size. Now, it is a lovely British racing green. I would even go so far as to say maybe a shade lighter than British racing green, so that the green itself is more pronounced and it won't be mistaken for black. We have an aviation style contrasting off-white stitch on a calfskin strap. You can see that it has a sheer cut side showing the layers of leather. It's calfskin on the bottom too, and this is a brand new Bremont factory strap. The off-white color of the thread matches the color of the registers on the dial, and then we have a large twin trigger actuated double deployment clasp in matching stainless steel, and you can see that it is a sizable and impressive piece that will keep the watch anchored to your wrist while donning or removing at bedside. Now, Bremont calls this their triptych case construction. Part of the concept is that you take the canister that contains the dial and the movement and you separate it out from the forms of the lugs to create a better ergonomic watch, and it is that. It's not an ergonomic miracle because of its thickness, but it does wear pretty well for what it is, which is quite large. You can also see that they used hardened DLC on the mid case for scratch resistance. What you can't see is that they also use a certain treatment on the steel that dramatically increases the hardness of the surface. It's a few microns thick, and the combination of the softer steel beneath and the harder steel on the top has been tested independently to be about 400 Vickers. I know Bremont claims well over 1,000. Reality is more like 400, which is still better than standard 316 steel, which is generally in the 200 to 250 Vickers range. We have a narrow bezel with a little bit of a conical profile and then a flat top. You can see there's a lot of concentric circular brushing across the top of the metal. We have a couple of shouldered chronograph pushers, and the shoulder protects them from shearing. Then we have the little Bremont propeller logo on a crown, which allows you to set the watch, wind the watch, and I should mention it is a screw down, and the watch is extremely water resistant for an aviation style piece. As you can see, 100 meters. In general, pilots' watches are between 30 and 60 meters, so this is exceptional. We have a hacking seconds function and a quick set date, a lovely green dial and a shade to match the strap with white on green print. We have a Rayhaut or a sloped chaptering outboard, white varnished hands at center for high contrast, and those off-white registers for constant seconds and chronograph minutes. Of course, we have a little date down at 6 o'clock. Like I mentioned, it does have a quick set, and the watch has a wonderfully tuned cam lateral clutch chronograph. So turn it all over. You can see this movement is based on the Valjoux 7750. You can see that immediately. That chronograph bridge is recognizable from a mile away, but it is in a COSC chronometer spec. So this is the highest grade of 7750. It is a chronometer. It's a unidirectional automatic winder. It has a 42-hour power reserve, stop seconds, a quick set date, pivots on 28 joules. It has the cam lateral clutch tandem, and it beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It's also decorated in a special fashion for Bremont with a custom rotor that they request and the highest standard of machine finishing that is available on this movement from the factory. It is a tank-tough, reliable workhorse that also keeps incredible time. 7750s will run rings around most high horology movements in terms of accuracy when they are spec'd in chronometer grade. So let's take a quick look at the loom shot here. You can see plenty of loom, including the chronograph seconds hand. The numerals are loomed, and so are the indices outboard. This is a watch that is the full package. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.